Here's a question that almost everyone has asked at some point. If God is all-powerful, why doesn't he just destroy Satan? I mean, if Satan is the source of so much pain, suffering, and evil, why let him continue? Wouldn't ending him immediately solve everything?
It sounds like the obvious solution, but when you read the Bible, you realize God wasn't just dealing with one rebellious angel, he was dealing with a universe watching. Revelation 12 tells us that Satan wasn't created evil. He was cast out of heaven after rebellion broke out, and a third of the angels followed him. The conflict wasn't about power, it was about trust.
And that's important because love can't exist without freedom. If God had simply destroyed Lucifer the moment he rebelled, would the universe have served God out of love or out of fear? The Bible doesn't say God wants forced obedience. He wants willing hearts.
Jesus actually illustrated this principle in one of his parables. In Matthew 13, a farmer's field is filled with wheat, but an enemy secretly plants weeds among it. The servants immediately ask, "Do you want us to pull the weeds out?" The farmer answers, "No, because while you're pulling the weeds, you may uproot the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest." Jesus later explains that the harvest represents the end of the world. Sometimes God allows time, not because he approves of evil, but because he's working toward a final and complete judgment.
And the Bible promises that evil won't last forever. Nahum 1-9 says, "Affliction will not rise up a second time." In other words, when God finally brings sin to an end, it won't ever return. That's a much bigger promise than simply removing one rebel. It's the complete end of evil itself.
So why doesn't God destroy Satan today? According to the Bible, because the great controversy has to reach its conclusion. Every accusation against God's character has to be answered. Every created being must see the difference between God's kingdom and Satan's. Only then will the universe know forever that God's ways are just, loving, and true.
That doesn't make suffering easy, but it does mean it has an end. The Bible doesn't present evil as something God will tolerate forever. It presents it as something he will defeat completely. And maybe that's the biggest difference. God isn't slow because he's powerless. He's patient because he's making sure evil never rises again.
So if you've ever wondered why God waits, maybe the better question is this. What kind of universe would exist if God ended rebellion before everyone understood why rebellion was wrong? Sometimes, justice isn't only about ending evil, it's about revealing the truth. And according to the Bible, that's exactly what God is doing.